What's happening, peoples? What's happening?
Yeah.
What's joking, you smokers?
And what's smoking, you jokers?
Oh, what?
Oh.
Science. How we doing today?
We're doing real good. It is 4/19/2019. And guess what that means, people? What's tomorrow?
The greatest national holiday of all time.
Ever.
420.
Yes, it is going to be the magical stoner holiday of 420 tomorrow. And it's a Saturday this week.
I know,
too,
right?
So
I was about to say that.
Got the freedom to do what they do.
Yeah. And no matter what you do, if you drink a little drink, you smoke a little smoke.
It's your day, baby. Tomorrow's the day.
Saturday, and then Sunday's Easter. Today's Good Friday. Let's not pass that up. Hey, do you think Jews get scared on Easter?
Get scared? Why would they get scared?
Because like Jesus came back and like Jews were the Christ killers. And
Jews were the Christ killers.
that's factual.
Well, Judas is the Christ killer.
Well, he was Jewish.
Well, yeah, I guess. Well, Jesus was too, wasn't he?
I think so. So why do Christians follow like not Jewish
It's
if
odd,
he was
right?
Jewish?
It's really odd how that works.
We know absolutely nothing about religion.
And the thing that
or I don't.
Yeah, the thing that interests me the most is like Jewish people only regard the Old Testament as factual biblical knowledge. Like they don't even regard or read the New Testament. And the New Testament is like only what a lot of like new Protestant faiths and like all kinds of other denominations of Christianity practice off of. Because it's so hard to understand and interpret the Old Testament because it was written archaically, you know? Like you're talking about translations, New Age translations of thousand-year-old texts. Like,
right.
That's not easy to do because
not at all.
The shit was not written in language.
Well, let's just take it at 200 years. The Constitution.
Yeah, those kinds of things.
You know what I'm saying?
Thee and thou and thou.
Try to understand
thou
that.
Shalt not. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. Right here.
I was looking for mine. Yeah, I have many.
Nice catch.
The successful pass. So so it's Friday and I have the day off. You just got off work. What's new, man? What you got planned? What's happening at work and shit?
Someone either quit or got fired today who took over my old job.
Okay.
And then my boss came in. He bought me a 6-pack.
Nice.
And he said, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to do 2 jobs." And I said,
"Hopefully not for the price of one."
"You're a fucking cocksucker."
Yeah.
That's what I said. But no, I'll do it, and it's not for the price of one. I got a nice little raise.
That's good, man. That's a good position to be in.
Well, it's not though.
And now you got more responsibility, but you got a little more
I already
compensation.
stress out over what the fuck I got to do to begin with. I got
true.
shingles last year.
Really?
Dude, I'm 25 years old.
Jeez, yeah, that's nuts.
Stress all on my face. Not on my face. It was on the side of my head,
And
under
it
my
kind of
hair.
looks like chicken pox or something,
I couldn't see it because it was under my hair.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see a single thing.
Weird.
But I felt a couple bumps. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then because it was where it was, it inflamed the lymph
Downwards?
node.
Oh,
No,
the
it inflamed the
lymph
lymph
nodes
node on my neck.
Wow.
So the one that's kind of on I had one right here.
Okay.
Basically, back of the neck, corner of the neck, whatever you want to say.
Right.
Fucking, it swelled up to golf ball size.
Damn.
And I was like, oh my God. And I didn't do anything about it. And then the next day I woke up and my left arm was completely numb.
Oh,
Because a lot of people don't know that when you have shingles, depending on what side it is,
Right.
It'll actually make your collarbone go numb for some odd reason.
Jeez, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So my whole collarbone
Weird
was
disease,
fucking,
man.
right?
Like you know.
All from stress.
Yeah, it's from stress-induced pain is no joke. I think cortisol is the body chemical that's involved with stress, and I hear about high cortisol levels leading to an early death. And I try to tell I know I've already taken multiple
God.
years, if not an entire decade, off of my mother's life from the stress that I've caused her. And when you think about stress as an induced kind of thing, that's when you start to realize holy shit, people are stressed 24/7 sometimes.
See, I don't like this study. Because, are they determining, how much stress they had on them when they died?
Thing. Yeah, there's no machine. They don't have... Remember at the fair, there's, those machines, test your might.
Yeah,
you
right.
Punch it or, swing the hammer. There's no machines at the fair, test your stress.
But you have to do it, every single day, right?
And you would. There's no, there's no numerical way to measure the cortisol stress levels released within a person's body.
Not at all, because some people get stressed out over
So all you have to base these scientific studies off of are questionnaires about how stressed somebody is. And also, depending on how long the studies take, 30 of our 150 participants died during the 10-year stress study from the stress that they had during the 10 years. So that's the only way you could gather information. That's what interests me the most, dude, is like we all base our facts and even opinions off of scientific studies when the bare bones of the science isn't understood by a lot of people who repeat those kind of facts. They just hear the study and then they relay that information. And the fact that you asked, how they get that information. A lot of people don't even think that far. They just take the information at face value. And what you should do is be like, whoa, wait. How the hell do you test somebody's cortisol levels
every day to see if it's taken off years off their life?
Because if I had to test my cortisol levels every day, it would raise my stress on a daily basis because there would be one more thing to my schedule that I have to add to do.
Oh shit, man.
So that would definitely increase my stress.
What's good for killing stress?
What's that?
Smoking weed.
Yeah,
420.
Yeah. So when did you start smoking, actually, man? Do you remember? I feel like every stoner or even every person that smoked weed and like either liked it or not, I remember their first time.
I remember my first time, but I wouldn't call it my first time,
right?
Because then like I stopped for forever, and then I decided, I got back into it because I was working out pretty heavy at the time.
Okay.
And that was the only thing I'd do. I had a construction job and then go to the gym. So all I fucking did.
Okay.
And then I had a buddy that came over. Well, not came over, but he went to the gym with me. And he showed up late, and I was like, I'm going to be a dick to him, and I'm going to put him through a gauntlet. So I burnt him the fuck out, and then he took me to, evidently, his drug dealer's house and got me high as... He got me so high that people thought I was sleeping on the couch. I couldn't open my eyes.
Dude, yeah.
I was awake the whole time. I couldn't move. I couldn't talk.
Paralyzed, stoned.
They all thought I was, like, sleeping. They're sitting there talking about Waffle House. I think that sounds amazing.
In this, like, stoned coma.
I can't say a word.
Of course.
And then the only thing I can get out as they're leaving, because somebody did. Shout out to this guy. We're not even friends. I went to school with him.
Yeah.
Like, we just never got... I wouldn't say we never got along, but we were cordial together, but it's not like we were, like, friends.
Yeah.
But he came over right before he walked out the door. He's like, man, you good? You good?
Yeah.
And all I could muster up was fan. And he put the fan on me, turned it because I was burnt up. I had a hoodie on. I couldn't take it off. I was stunned.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude. And, like,
barbecue.
You know how... the first time you smoke a cigarette or have a dip, you get a really crazy head rush.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen like that after you use it, continuously, unless you stop and then start again.
The first time I took a dip was terrible, too, because I had it in, for 2 minutes. And then my brother was an asshole in high school. And he was like, I'll only take you to a basketball game if you put it in pinch dip on the ride there. I was like, fuck it.
What a brother. Shouts out to him.
So I'm 14 years old at the time. Yeah, shout out to him, you fucking dick. Anyway, so
I guarantee, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he did that because he knew you'd probably try it elsewhere, and he wanted to be there wait for you to try it.
Yeah, well, he's also an asshole. Take that route. He's also an asshole. He wanted to see how it would react.
Just devil's advocate.
He knew what was going to happen. So I put it in my mouth for 2 minutes.
Okay.
And he wouldn't. I was in the back seat. He locked his windows, so I couldn't roll down the windows.
Yeah, definitely.
All I had time to do was grab a paper plate, and I used a paper plate. And I tried to catch everything that came out of my body on a paper plate.
Oh, my God. The joke's on him. It was in his car.
Yeah, but the issue is it came back on me. Because if you throw up into a plate this way,
most of it hits
it and comes back this way.
Maybe some of the spillage at least got on his car.
Yeah, it did. It got in the seats and whatnot.
Oh, that's disgusting.
He still got a good laugh out of it. It was worth it.
It was a setup. And whole. Yeah,
he's a fucking asshole.
Well,
I love you.
Yeah, but that was your first dip experience and your first weed experience. You're totally paralyzed and stuff. People don't realize these early experiences and forays and introductions into I don't call nicotine conscious change. It changes your conscience.
It does though.
Yeah, but it really does. Your first dive into those pools are the wettest. Because it's your first time in. And then you know what the water feels like, so to say. And you get out and wash it off you. And then the pool turns into a bath. And the bath turns into a drink of water. And then you take drinks every single day. Really weird analogy I just made up. But, I remember some of my earliest times getting stoned, bro. Now that I've had psychedelic experiences, my first marijuana experiences were extremely heavy in psychedelic effect. And I recall back to those
visual
times.
Or just mental?
Visual. And
really?
I remember walking down Garfield in town. There was my shouts out to Klinger if you're watching this, Aaron Klinger. we used to smoke with my dude, who's named Chris. I won't say his full name. I don't know where he's at today, but he was a super cool dude.
Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah, he lived. Me and Klinger used to go in high school, probably like sophomore year, junior, like probably sophomore year. We would walk from Klinger's house behind what used to be Blockbuster, and we would walk and go to Chris's house, which was down off of Garfield. And for those of you unfamiliar, that's like maybe a mile walk or so, maybe a little bit more. And he lived in this little nestled house, and Chris at the time was, I think, it might have been our freshman summer, because Chris was a senior at the time. Because I remember he was in a grade of like upperclassmen that we hadn't quite hung out with yet. So it was really cool to hang out with this older guy.
Shout out to that guy. He might have tried to fuck you. I don't know if he's gay or not, but that's mostly what seniors do when they hang out with freshmen, right?
Yeah, that could be said. But instead, he chose to enlighten us with his like shelter and like willingly hung out like with
that's sweet
with us as a freshman. And I remember walking back from this dude's house after getting super stoned, and Garfield looked like it was hundreds of miles long, like tunnel vision, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, this road never ends.
Right.
I was just stoned. But now that I've had like psychedelic experiences where I've had intense visuals, like open eye visuals, I hark back and I'm like, oh yeah, that was my brain being overtaken by the first time psychedelic effect, because marijuana does really have a psychoactive effect, but it just lessens as you become more familiar with it.
Right.
Which is why when you take some psychedelics, whether they be shrooms or acid or whatever it is, when you smoke weed, like as you're coming up on them, or even after you've peaked on them, shit gets really weird again.
It does, though. That's my favorite thing.
It's crazy.
Mushrooms, weed.
My favorite thing, unfortunately, and it's not like my favorite thing, but like it's an extremely interesting science experiment to mix drugs and consciousness. Like everyone knows, like there's a great video on YouTube. I encourage you all to look it up. It's a really informational YouTube channel. It's why you get more intoxicated after you smoke weed when you're drunk, but not vice versa. You can't get more drunk if you're already high and drink beer, but if you drink alcohol or any kind of alcohol and then get stoned, you increase your intoxication. Everyone knows like cross buzzing is what it's called. You know, for people who don't dive into a bunch of drugs, maybe all they do is like socially drink and take a hit of a joint or something every now and then. When they're in the situation to do those things together, if they line them up right, they get way more messed up when they take a hit of the weed after they've been drinking for a little bit that night, because what it all does together is it opens up your bloodstream and allows the blood to circulate through your body faster, which gets you messed up faster, and you're working with the cerebral high now, especially depending on if you're smoking like a sativa or an indicate. And everybody knows like the I don't want to say just like blonde white girls, but like annoying dude bros too that like get too fucked up and are like, dude, I'm so fucked up, and they're so
hanging with the boys.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah,
like,
fuck
man,
that dude.
Like dude, like I understand maybe like if it's your first beer or first joint or something.
Right.
Like, man, it amazes me that people like will willingly choose to conduct themselves foolishly and wake up and not recall any of it, and then go do it over and over and over again. I have little patience for people like that, unfortunately, after dealing with them for a while.
I think you gotta like, so we had this discussion.
But I might be one of those people, so I don't know. Like, I know I'm a hard person to tolerate in terms of like my my energetic like confidence and levels and the way I'm all gung ho about shit. You know?
Yeah,
kind of the way somebody is when they're fucked up.
Right. I would say I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, it's all good. I do it all the time, man. This is the Joker and the Smoker. That's all we do.
I don't even know what the fuck we were talking about. You lost me.
Just talking about the experiences of marijuana. Dude, like, okay.
Do you have a bad experience with weed? Do you have a bad experience not high but with weed? I'll tell you. Like for example, I'll tell you mine. Okay. I went to COP, aka other words known as pick up some greenery, aka marijuana. I can keep going with these AKAs forever. But yeah, I went and bought an ounce of weed with a friend. Okay. And he decided to drive. I decided to buy. Okay. Because I needed some, Yeah. Life goes on.
You appreciate the hookup. You go just ride along.
Yeah. So I grabbed it. I was getting an ounce.
Right.
Just like normal people do, or probably not normal people do. I just think it's normal to me.
Yeah. you know how much you're gonna smoke, so you might as well pick up for a while.
No shit. So I picked that up, and immediately security guards showed up at the apartment complex. Right, and it's like 15 degrees.
They were on it.
It's 15 degrees outside.
Okay.
So the dude gives us the weed, then he immediately runs into his apartment. It's like, okay, so they know where you live, dummy. Why'd you run into your house?
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting there like, okay, and I'm just looking over at my dude. It was like, okay, this is mine. I'm taking this rap. You're driving.
Okay.
You don't know why I came over here.
Right.
I asked you for a ride.
Damn,
That's
bro.
it.
Kudos to you.
Why lose his license or, get a fucking $100 fine? I'll be all right.
Yeah.
And he would have split it with me anyways at that point if I was down with that.
Might as well help him out.
But anyway, so the security guards like called the cops, Columbus PD.
Yeah.
And 15 degrees outside. We stood outside for 2 hours. They wouldn't let us back in the vehicle.
Jeez.
Waiting on Columbus PD.
To get to,
and they said it was shift change, but bitch, I know what shift change is over there. It wasn't shift change at all.
That's amazing. That's like, of all jobs, that one is the one that uses that excuse.
No joke.
Like, my bad, officer. Every other job in the world doesn't require a shift change. But I've never been to Walmart and they'd be like, hold up, I can't check you out right now. Shift change. Yeah,
right. Shift change.
Fuck that
shift
shit,
change.
dude.
So it was just annoying, but it ended up like they just were trying to go after the drug dealer. I want to know what his name was and whatnot.
Bigger fish, yeah.
I didn't know his name. Why do I want to know my drug dealer's name?
Yeah, and at the time.
Why do I want to know my drug dealer's name? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to hang out with my drug dealer.
Exactly.
He needs to deal me drugs. Why mix business with pleasure?
It's in the title, yeah.
Unless he's handing over free shit.
See,
but then again, I don't want to be around that in case the cops do come. Just give me mine and I'll go do my thing. You do your thing.
And that's what's nuts, dude. Like, I sometimes I have the exact opposite train of thought because, like, I almost want to know my drug dealers on an ultra personal level. Because I want to know, like, depending on what I'm buying from them. Like, dude,
it depends on what you're buying
This is crazy,
from
dude.
them.
I didn't plan this at all. But I just remembered that this is, like, a topic I wanted to talk about on a podcast. And it's awesome that it organically came up. And the thing that it is the importance of drug dealers in society. Like, the importance of black market dealers in society, bro. Like, they are
good ones.
necessary. Good ones. Like, connects, like there's been movies made about, like, secret agents and all kinds of, like, artillery dealers and, like, true, like, lords of like.
Oh, you mean what the government did?
No, I'm talking about, like, what's that one song? That one movie, Something Dogs, with Jonah Hill, and it's about.
There's like
the
war
government
dogs.
or like people, war dogs, selling military grade shit
equipment
to other countries and shit,
yeah, but no,
that like, and drug dealing and stuff. Like I said, depending on what drugs it is, bro, you will, like, in my opinion, they're like, I don't know, I wouldn't be who I am today without the course of action of many illegal individuals. Who are willing to risk their freedom to get me what they've got me. Well, what I got from them got me where I'm at, which is fucked up. Like, I've put things in my body when I was a heroin addict that I truly don't know what I've injected into my body as a heroin addict.
They don't want.
I would trust these individuals who I would go to get this thing because it would at least get me high and get me through. But now that I understand the drugs that Peaks the drugs in the past and currently and in the future that. I really don't have any drugs left I want to try because I understand what most drugs are and on a molecular level now. It's not just like, oh, I'm trying to get fucked up. It's like, now if I am seeking an experience, I absolutely need to know the individual that I am going to and regarding and with this level of trust is going to give me what I'm looking for. Because unless I take it upon myself to test what I buy from someone, I'm taking their word for what it's worth. And if I don't have any way to know what I'm about to go into, especially with drug experiences, it could be anything. And that's what's fucked up about doing drugs is you don't really know what a drug is until you do it. But once you do it, depending on how you feel is how you know what it is.
Right.
Isn't that so messed up?
But drug dealers aren't trying to get you to where you want to go. They're just trying to make money.
Some of them aren't.
The better...
There are individuals in this world who have connections to molecules and things who are willing to share a slice of the pie, man.
There's some, but most people are looking for the dollar. Most people are just trying to make a dollar. Like I said,
it depends what market you're talking about, dude. Because if
black market.
If you're talking weed and cartels and all kinds of shit, I'm talking illegal, high grade, synthesized molecular-based drugs that take a science lab to do, or at least
right.
or at least very, it takes more than an individual who can do some basic math to triple their profit. It takes a fucking scientist and alchemist.
There's some nerds that make drugs, but still, they're not trying to get you to where you want to go. They're just trying to make money. And they're willing to take the risk.
One of my top 10 favorite TV shows on right now and of all time is called Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia.
Yeah, that show's awesome.
In that show, he scientifically breaks down the actual synthesis of DMT and all of the things that are complex within it. He finds a street dealer who does it, and they film the whole thing. And this dude's like, I'm not going to smoke this stuff. I'm going to test it to make sure it's pure. And then I don't know what he of course lifted it open-ended, and he said he didn't do it or wasn't interested in it. He was strictly interested in the chemistry of the entire experiment.
Of course, the drug dealers are going.
But that's a minute percentage of people. I think what I'm talking about, like DMT, like home DMT synthesis, is done by people. Episode 5 of this show, I explained my DMT experience.
Right. That's an
experience that I trusted an individual with, and I went and bought that from them. Guess what? If I'm smart enough, I can possibly. It's an illegal process, and I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but you can do the extraction by yourself at home. But it takes much more attention and direction than just buying an ounce and trying to flip it.
I've seen it done.
That's exactly, or buying an ounce of dope and really posting up on a blog and serving fiends, bro.
You do have a point.
There's a difference between serving people who are interested in accessing drugs and serving fiends, bro. And I've
you
been
do
both.
have a point there. You do have a point there.
I have little patience for fiends, but all I want to do is talk to other people about consciousness changing experience in drugs, and it makes me feel like a druggie all the time.
Did you really do drugs without looking into them or knowing what they're going to do to you? Like just trying to get fucked up?
Not necessarily, like to a certain level early on, like before you experience them, like did you Google what is marijuana before you took your first marijuana hit?
No, but I did a whole bunch of classes in school that taught me like the bads about it.
All they taught you was that they're bad. They didn't tell you anything else.
I also learned the good before doing it. Through my uncle, like I had people who did it.
I had no negative example of what drugs could do to a person.
Really?
But both of my parents.
Well, no, they didn't give me the negative. My uncle didn't give me the negative about marijuana. He gave me the positives, where the school gave me the negative.
Right. Yeah. And like a lot of people steer away from drugs because they've seen what it can do to them. Like both of my parents' fathers were very functioning alcoholics, but they only functioning as an individual. They very much did a lot of detrimental damage to their family because of their addiction. But what I'm
shout out to all the alcoholics out there.
It's more than you think, man. A lot of people are struggling a lot.
Functioning
alcoholics,
destroying lives.
Yeah.
I was a part of. I'm from that.
It sucks. It's in a lot of different people's bloods, but that's what's amazing is my parents, both my mother and father's fathers, were extremely heavy alcoholics, and in turn, my parents had nothing to do with any kind of substances.
Yeah.
Leaving them pure, as most people would say. They're very straight edge in a traditional sense, and that's what's insane. Like there's our house was a dry house for I'm 20. I'll be 28 years of my life. My house has been mostly dry, and they don't ever drink in front of me or like not even family gatherings or anything. There won't be any wine or drinks or anything. It's just like just not a thing to have alcohol in my house to my parents. But in turn, like it's really weird that was the example set for me. And I turned into a drug addict.
Right.
That's really, they say it skips a generation. Have you heard that?
No.
Like substance abuse problems skips generations?
No, I've never heard that.
That would be true in the instance of my parents. My grandparents had it. My parents didn't, but I do. So it skipped a generation. I don't know if I believe it or not, but it's odd how your upbringing shapes your like outlook on these kinds of
I don't believe
addictions and shit.
I don't believe it because some people fuck up their lives.
I need to see the science, bro.
Well, no, some people fuck up their lives because I'm thinking of like a perfect example. Like, I know somebody from childhood, from early age. I'm talking like 1 year old. I've known somebody since then and how their father has, like you said, destroyed fucking relationship after relationship, and destroyed home. Well, like they got divorced. It led into a bunch of fucking nonsense.
Okay.
I saw how that happened. But then I saw how this motherfucker decided, hey, I'm going to act like him and have a kid, do all this nonsense, blah, 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 blah. And now he's in a situation where he can Like he's going down the same situation because he doesn't know how to deal with life that he brought onto himself because he didn't have the right upbringing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize how much that factors into who they are right now. My bad. That was a call. But it throws me off, dude. I gotta mute my phone. Remind me to mute my phone before this podcast, dude.
That's on you, man.
I hate it. Is on me, but god damn it, I hate it. I hate how distracting phones are.
We're 18 episodes in.
I'm gonna throw them out the window. God damn it.
You know what I was thinking when I was coming over here?
Right.
I really wanted to I want to be able to I want to make a room in my apartment into like a prison where I have to close the door
And stay.
Not for like sexual stuff. Come on now. I want to lock the door and just be able to say, okay, this door's locked for the next 36 hours. I have food. I have water.
Literally kind of
I have to get this shit done.
Yeah.
Or I have to stay in here
procrastination.
Or I have to stay in here for 36 hours straight. And it's the only thing to do, so I'm going to have to do it.
Yeah, situational setting. Like, you know, only providing an environment that will make you do what is necessary for you to achieve.
Right. It sucks to say, but
have you ever,
be awesome.
Over my wall, none of you can see it right now, but see that poster right there? It's Clockwork Orange. Stanley Kubrick's the movie Clockwork Orange. That movie is about social conditioning, and it's about how if you do certain things, you'll act a certain way.
I like the people's home decor in that movie.
Oh yeah,
it was all like dicks.
On point. Yeah, dude. It's like
seriously, it was all dicks.
Are you talking about the room, the house that he like ransacked?
Yeah, he broke into. He killed a lady with a sculpture of a penis. That happened.
Did he beat her over
the
the head with it or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But like the way he wrecks that whole fucking scene, Stanley Kubrick, man. I haven't even seen all of his movies, but like Clockwork Orange affected me to a degree. Clockwork Orange was the first movie thing that made me realize why those scientific instruments where people like are put back into chairs and their eyelids are held open, bro. That was the first thing that made me, I was like, oh my god, those instruments were created by humans for other humans for this. And I was like,
for therapy.
Fuck, yeah, for social conditioning to prevent like have you heard of micro sleeps? Like, or I forget what it's called, but like it's where if you stay up for so long, even if your eyes are open, your brain will shut down because it has to. That had to have happened, but it's more so that like people can't close their eyes to escape what they see, which is the gift and curse of having human senses. It's like you can't fucking cut those bitches off unless you go Oedipus style and stab your eyes out.
I mean, it happens. I don't know, like
Van Gogh cut his ear off, bro.
I can do.
Like it's only a history of people like fucking their shit up because they're so fucked up by the social environment that has affected them to such a degree, bro.
And he mailed it to a lady, but I don't know. Did they ever hook up afterwards? Like no one's ever talked about that. I don't know if that was I have a feeling that if they did, that would be the main point.
Yeah.
That people would talk about, not him cutting off his ear. No, like, look at this motherfucker. He got a girl by cutting off his ear.
Shout out to Hulu or Netflix. If y'all want to make a series about Van Gogh and what happened with his girl and how he cut his ear off and shit, hit me up. That's at least a good like 10 or 12 episode miniseries.
I'll cut my own ear off.
Yeah, exactly.
I probably won't do that. I like my ear. Let's be honest.
No, I was wondering if you get like wrestlers get cauliflower ear, and that just messes with like the shape of the ear and all that, which is a super weird thing.
Well, do you know? I'll tell you what it is.
Tell me.
It is actually so your ear is nothing but like cartilage, right? Mm-hmm. So what happens is your ear, the cartilage breaks apart, and then that breakage just fills with calcium buildup.
Is your nose tissue cartilage as well? Like, where are the cartilaginous parts of your body?
Yeah, your nose is. Have you ever seen a skull?
That's why you can pierce those things, right?
Have you ever seen a skull?
Of course, yeah. There's two holes in your face.
So there's no nose and there's no ears.
I love skulls. Cartilage. There's two holes in and that's what's amazing. There's no ears on the skull and there's no nose on the skull because they're just holes. So if you cut your ear off, where's your eardrum at?
I don't know.
Is what I was wondering. Like, did Van Gogh lose the loss of his hearing in the ear that he cut off?
Yeah, probably. Unless somebody was yelling straight into the fucking hole.
We gotta really ask some people.
Unless somebody was yelling straight into the fucking hole, I'm pretty sure he couldn't hear it because it like turns it into a cone so you can collect it. It's like, okay, I can hear stuff now. But no, that's what cauliflower ear is. Is all the cartilage breaks in your ear. Okay. And then it just starts building up with calcium.
But yeah,
but you can get it drained and it's fucking disgusting.
That's an externally affected disorder. Like, It only comes about by being a wrestler, right? Like I've never known anyone
jiu-jitsu,
else. Well,
judo.
yeah, but like, is it like only in environments that fuck your ear up? Like
because you're bending it every which way
all the time.
That's why they make people.
Is there such thing as cauliflower nose?
I don't think so, because that cartilage is so much bigger,
thicker.
Like I would have it because I mean.
So yeah, I just need to go to medical school and figure out what cartilage is and difference.
Right here, like. If you grab the end of your nose and try to bend it,
right,
like it doesn't do anything. I would have cauliflower nose if it was a thing, because like my nose is completely broken. I could take the tip and just move it all the way over.
Wow, straight up.
So I would like.
That's the front of your skull, right there.
And honestly, like if I pick my nose once in a while, I'm not gonna lie to people. Like the cartilage is now on the inside wall of my nostril. So like I have a giant path. Like I can't breathe through the side of my nose.
I feel when we were building this house when I was a kid, my dad was patching a hole in the roof in the foyer, and he was nailing up a tarp, and I was doing some fuckboy shit as like an 8 or 9 year old, and my parents made me sit on the staircase.
Right.
Well, the staircase was right below where he was nailing this tarp up, bro. I
Smart.
swear to God, I remember this like it was yesterday.
Did they have an underlying thought?
I was sitting. I could walk out there and sit right where I was sitting, dude. And I was sitting there, and like all of a sudden, my dad was kneeling, and somebody yelled something or something, and I looked up, just in time. But I looked up, and my dad had accidentally dropped this piece of wood with a nail halfway through it.
Oh my God!
And I looked up in time, and it hit me right here.
Shit. I don't like fucking with eyes.
It was weird, dude. Like,
that
yeah, like
me out.
I probably, no one probably said this, but in my mind, I remember the doctor saying something like, if it was any closer, if you didn't look up, it would have went into your skull, and if it was any closer, you would have lost the sight and you would die. And I was like, dude.
What's the dumbest thing you've done high?
On weed or high?
No, high on weed.
On any drugs.
It's 420.
I got expelled from high school for selling weed to other high schoolers. That was a traumatic experience in my life.
Were you selling it in school?
Not at school. I had it in my car for personal use because I used to smoke before school.
Okay.
And I had weed and a bowl in my car, and they didn't find the bowl, but they found the weed. Lifesavers used to come in this dope aluminum container that you press the center of it, and the outsides would pop open, and then you clamp the outside edges, and it was the dopest little weed container, man. I wish I had one today. But Timothy Kai, fuck you. He said the dogs hit on my car. I never saw them, and I don't know who else witnessed them hitting on my car. I never talked to any cops. But that dude just like was out to make. In my opinion, this dude was out to make an example of me because no one else that was associated and who got in trouble had any kind of penalty.
So wait, so you said you didn't talk to the cops?
No.
Like, did you get a ticket?
I didn't get anything in trouble because I was under 18, but I got expelled.
But you still there still would have been court. You can't go kill somebody at 16 and not talk to the cops.
Well, there's a whole lot of plot holes in my story because I don't.
No, there's a whole lot of plot holes in his motherfucking story.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, and that's the thing, dude. Like, I remember being called into the office and like trying to answer my questions, and like, I made up a fake drug dealer based on a real drug dealer. I just abbreviated his name with the initial, and like, it was just hell, dude. But that experience shaped me as a person. So, like, my worst. What was the question you asked me? What was the worst experience?
I don't think you've answered what the worst experience with weed you've had is.
That is getting expelled from high school because I smoked weed before school, had it on me.
Yeah.
But what got me in trouble was, to my knowledge, a line of people that I don't want to call snitched because it's just like everybody saves their own asses when they're in jeopardy, right? Like, I'm not gonna fucking say like there's no atheists in a foxhole, bro.
Well, I saved his ass.
All they say, there's no atheists in a foxhole.
That is true.
Which means you'll save your own ass in any situation, and you'll pray to God that you fucking get out of whatever you're in. So I believe that,
it depends on what it is.
I was found out, bro. I was snitched on somehow, and but like, the fact that like that experience made me who I am doesn't make me wish that people hadn't snitched on me. Like, they didn't have to go through what I went through, but in turn I went through it and became who I am. So I'm thankful for it. It's crazy that I look at it like that, but I really do, because it made me realize the importance of the social structure of school, because I liked school, man. I liked classes. I liked having classes with different people about different subjects. I liked going to music. I liked going to art. High school was fucking bittersweet, man, and I would do it all over again and get expelled the same way. But here's the cherry on top of this synchronicity, Brandon. I went out to my car. I forgot my lunch in my car the day I got busted, and I went out. I went out through the gym and didn't go out through the front door. I went out through the gym door to go to my car to grab my lunch. I could have moved the weed in my car up where the bowl was. They didn't find the bowl.
Right. You got lucky.
But I just grabbed my lunch.
You got lucky.
But listen, I grabbed my lunch for lunch in my car and didn't move the weed. Then came back inside and they came and got me at lunch.
It's weird.
So like literally, I had the opportunity to set myself up for a different reality.
Right.
That's what people mean by alternate realities. These experiences that leave you with like.
You got lucky.
What if you would have just done this one fucking thing different? Your life would be totally fucking different. Right. But yeah, that's a whole tangent I just didn't mean to go on, man. But that's the worst experience I had with weed. But I still smoke weed. I don't sell it anymore, though. It shied me away from a life of selling drugs. But that's why I regard drug dealers as a necessary role of society. Because as an individual who has had profound realizations on different types of drugs, I think it's important for them to be decriminalized and handled under scientific observational experiences.
That'd be awesome.
To go to a therapist, to have a therapist not only to talk to as a third party, but to say, hey, I would like to sign up for an MDMA therapy session. I would like to sign up for a psilocybin magical mushroom experience. I would like to sign up for an LSD trip session. And then suddenly the realm of psychology is opened up in ways that it has literally never been, because all of these substances were made illegal before they were allowed to be explored.
I'm already thinking of a sport that could be made.
Yeah.
If drugs were legal. You
What's
get like 4 dudes together, and like there's like it's a great sport. No, I'm thinking about it because it'd be a team sport.
Okay.
So it'd be like me and you on a team, and there'd be 2 other people on a team, and then we would all 4 take a hit of meth. Like half a gram of meth,
what
right?
What is it with you and meth, bro?
And then we would see which team could finish jerking off the quickest.
So this is you trying to get this sport into the Olympics, or is this just
I think it's
unsanctioned events?
I think it might just be a pay-per-view event. You know,
it could be. Yeah, HBO pays a lot for a lot of different things, and WWE is still a thing. People love wrestling, so I mean, people could get into this. And what was it called? Did you figure out what the meth orgy was called that you were talking about?
No,
you called it PMP at the
episode,
right?
I'm pretty sure that's what it is,
because I typed for anything.
No, I know, but I typed it into fucking Pornhub, and then it didn't come up with any searches, and then
so you were giving false information.
Like 2 days later, when I went back onto Pornhub, let's be honest, it was like 8 hours later. Let's be honest, like all my videos were fucking like people doing meth. I was like, I might be onto something here. I might be onto something here.
Wow, man. And dude, that's like, whoa, check it out, man. Just had a crazy realization. The difference between YouTube and Pornhub is censorship.
Yeah.
That's the only fucking difference.
Well, I don't know YouTube's.
What if? Oh my God.
I don't know Pornhub's censorship laws. I don't know Pornhub censorship laws.
I just had the craziest fucking thought, bro.
But do they allow like people talking?
Bro, I just had the craziest thought, bro.
What was it?
Wouldn't you like to be the dude who could break down the wall of censorship and merge YouTube and Google and Pornhub together for the ultimate search engine? But how could it be done?
It would never happen.
It would never happen. But literally, what I said...
Which I'm upset at Google for, because sometimes Pornhub doesn't have the full videos of what the fuck I want to watch for.
Bing Videos. Go to Bing Videos.
Bing Videos?
Bing Videos is the most accurate algorithm for search terminology.
Well, I tried to look into like Google, and they're like,
I'm telling you, bro,
we don't even know. This person's not even alive.
Take your search term into Bing Videos, and you'll find better search experience. You'll find better search results than all of the ones that say this is the search aggregate for 8 different sites. Which is really, it's amazing like how much percentage of the porn industry like different things own, because every porn site you go to is owned by another porn site.
Right. You just hooked up my jerking off.
Premium porn is like almost worth paying for.
I jerk off with my right hand, so we're good on the left hand.
Hey, I'm a lefty, so I just clapped you with my right. So good. Hey,
that's why we sit like this, y'all. You guys thought it was just some coincidence. No, we already talked about this.
Yeah, no. But I think we might have mentioned it on the podcast too. I'm a lefty because I had to switch to left so I could operate the mouse on my right.
Yeah, right?
Right.
So it all works out. It all works out.
Hey, how do you think chicks do it though?
What do you mean? Like they have so many more options.
Like, check it out though. You see how my desk is set up, bro?
Banana.
If I was a chick, like you would like you almost need like a gynecological setup in order to watch porn appropriately. In order to watch porn appropriately for a woman.
Or just a wireless mouse.
And literally, dude, all I did was I looked at my computer setup and I was like, if I was a woman, how would I masturbate there? I would just make little stirrup holders on the corner. And
or you would need to make stirrup holders. Like you just put some like rope underneath just to hold your legs. You know what I'm saying? I was just helping you. Maybe you can do that now. This is a weird
podcast, people. I'm glad you're tuning in. My timer just stopped on my computer because there's ghosts and wizards in the technological world.
It's just because we're just high. So, what's the worst experience you had high, though?
Probably getting arrested.
You got arrested while high?
While I was, the very first time I got arrested, I was with two people in high school. And we pulled up to the Y right there by the fire department in the old elementary school.
Yeah.
And a cop rolled right by. We were smoking a Saturday night special, which is two joints rolled together.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the length of a blunt, but it's two joints rolled together. The first time I ever smoked one.
Oh, that's what they... So it wasn't... I was thinking side by side. It's just the length. You double two... Yeah, it's extendo.
So, and like, I was, I think, 16 at the time. It was, like, literally my first run-in with the law ever.
Damn.
And,
that sucks.
And then the dude that I was with accidentally got too panicked and pulled into the McDonald's parking lot in town down the wrong way one way. So we were being arrested in the McDonald's parking lot facing the wrong way.
But you were probably perfectly fine if he didn't do that fucking move. You know what I'm saying? If he didn't panic,
this cop, like we all as fucking 16 and 17 year olds, as this cop rolled by in town, we all just like I subconsciously stared at him because it was like none of us were familiar with acting cool, you know?
Right.
Because we were all just like
act cool. Okay.
Yeah, like act like a normal human and don't stare at this cop because we're doing something illegal. And I remember, I don't know if I looked or not, but the cop pulled us over because he said, I saw one of you holding the joint, and you both were just staring at me. And I was like, oh, okay.
Observation skills on point.
Fuck you. So
damn, that sucks.
But that's just like that's how cops do their job, you know. Like there are very telling points of human behavior that give away what the fuck you're doing.
Right.
So sometimes when people say act cool, what they mean is be an actor and play into this fucking script so we don't get fucked.
Exactly. So,
which that being said, the movie Blow, I cried nearly at the end of it every single time. Because
it's about like selling cocaine.
Yes.
With like
Johnny Depp portraying the life of George Young.
Pirate dude.
And he gets fucked in the end, man, and like he's out. Like I hope he's not dead. Shout out to George Young. He's not dead. He got released from prison in I think like 2012 or 2015, and he's out. I hope that. Oh man, let's have a podcast with him, bro.
Hey, shout out to what's his name?
George Young, I think.
George Young, but or
anyone familiar with Blow industry? I don't know.
No, because you're talking about bad people. Henry Hill. I'd like to get him on here too, since we're just
or Wheeler Walker Jr.
Oh yeah, definitely Wheeler Walker Jr. If you want to come out here and talk some nonsense with us,
dude, I watched the video for Puss in Boots and it was great. He did like a whole dance. He did the whole dance number and everything.
Yeah. That's not him. If you watch it close, they put it in a stump double.
I'm not even like
yes. If you watch it close enough, it doesn't even look like him.
That is really funny.
People look up Wheeler Walker Jr. Please. It's country music, but I guarantee you will love it. If you listen to this podcast,
yeah. If you're like, dude, that song has been catching on fire. That stupid like Backroads song, whenever it is, like I don't know
his name, but he brought in Billy Ray Cyrus.
I get it, but I don't get it. But I like that Billy Ray was the one to do it because Hannah Montana on these motherfuckers, you know.
Hannah Montana, what the fuck are you talking?
That's his daughter. Exactly, but I'm saying like Billy Ray is the OG country dude, so. It's only proper.
He had one
It's only
song.
proper that an OG country, like, dude, like, I love Garth Brooks so much, and Chris Ledoux, and, like, I love old country, dude, like, 90s country.
Me too, but he had one song. He had he made tap dancing cool. How can you like this guy?
It's not that I like him, but he's had a hard adulthood because he had Miley Cyrus for a daughter.
A little whore until lately.
You know, like, that's some shit that's like, you know, she's hot. Like, how
Oh my God.
You know, that's where you go. You cross certain lines of taboo in Pornhub. Like, that's why the weird things are getting popular. Because a dude like Billy Ray has a daughter like Hannah Montana. And then,
Are you? I don't even. No, I'm good. Never mind. You know, actually, that's the one thing
I'm saying, how could you not be attracted to your daughter when she looks like Miley
I've thought
Cyrus?
about this. I've already thought about this.
Yeah, you know?
That's the one thing I'm upset about.
Like, here's a talented individual, and it came from your DNA. You know, it's the Oedipus complex, man.
That's one thing.
It's the Freudian slip of life.
It's one thing I get upset about fucking adopted people with.
Adopted people.
Yeah, they're allowed to have sexual thoughts about their parents. I do it. It's weird.
That's the whole taboo culture of it, I think.
Listen, I should be allowed to fuck who I want to fuck as long as there's protection involved.
Dude, hey, if you don't watch Game of Thrones, I don't think, but Game of Thrones,
I don't.
There's more than one family. Now 2 families in the development of it, for like a loose spoiler, who are just incestual. Like, they're related.
Now you just sold it on me, because dragons are bullshit, but I like incest.
And like right off the rip, the first episode establishes the first incestual relationship that permeates through all 8 episodes.
The first episode
for all 8
of
seasons.
the first season?
The first episode of the first season
Okay.
establishes the first incestual relationship.
Because if I gotta go
that
8
lasts all 8 seasons, and then the 7th season, I believe, establishes the second one that has been building over all those seasons.
Game of Thrones is fucking up though. They cut down to fucking 5 episodes.
No,
6 episodes.
But dude, they're all over 90 minutes.
They're all over 90 minutes. I heard the first episode was not good. It was just so long. Because they just had to tie everything together.
Who were you talking to? Were you reading reviews, or like, who were you talking to?
I was reading a whole lot of reviews.
You didn't ask me. Ask me.
I read a whole lot of reviews.
Ask me, Isaac. Hey, how was the first episode of season 8 of Game of Thrones?
How was the first season, episode 8?
Okay.
Was it really long?
First episode of season 8. yeah. It was good, dude. I heard it was. Well, dude, okay, here's what Game of Thrones had to do. They had to take 7 seasons worth of content and figure out how the fuck to end all of the storylines and loose story ties in 90 roughly minute episodes.
I heard that was the hard part because they're trying to.
But I like how they did it all. Like, dude, like I said in previous episodes, suspending disbelief.
Right.
If you're watching a show where you believe in dragons and you believe in magic and black magic and wizards and warlocks and things, you automatically suspend disbelief for those things to exist.
Right.
So you have to equally suspend disbelief for the plot objectives, for characters to get to certain places.
Right, you have to live in that realm.
Yeah, it wouldn't seem that they could travel from this place to this place in this situation, but suddenly there's 3 characters are together and they weren't together last season.
Right, exactly.
You can't criticize something on how it has to figure out how to place people together to move the narrative forward, because great storytelling only involves forward-moving narration, which builds to the climax of the story and, honestly, the lesson taught during it, which I really think Game of Thrones is the best TV narrative ever told, with the most lessons to be learned for mankind, and I fucking swear on that shit. Put it on my tombstone.
Well, I wasn't saying that like they're trying to fill in plot holes or nothing, or there's a lot of plot holes. I'm just saying I heard it was really, really slow because they're trying to get the they're trying to get the slow moving plots out of the way to like heighten up to the big fucking point.
Every episode this
I just heard it was slow.
is gonna be, and that's the thing, dude. Like, one thing that show is great about is
heightening drama,
gathering speed. Gathering speed, because like anyone who watches any kind of good drama or comedy knows that it really is. It's the middle school fucking literature class of the typical plot line. It's normal at first, it goes up, there's a peak, and it goes down, and then you resolve the conflict.
Why are they ending it though? It's like
they're having spin-off series.
Biggest are they? Because it's the biggest show of all fucking time.
Also, dude hasn't finished the books yet. And they managed to make the show.
Okay.
They managed to make the show, and the show was so popular that it outgrew the popularity of the books. Yeah. Like, the books were popular, then the show was made, the audience grew exponentially.
Who writes the book?
George R.R. Martin.
Hey, George R.R. Martin, fuck you. Stop writing books. Let him make the goddamn show.
No. Hey, George R.R. Martin, just get them bitches written. Lock yourself in a room. He types on it.
Yeah, put yourself in a prison.
Yeah, exactly. And he writes on MS-DOS, which is like the old style computer.
Yeah.
Has no graphical user interface.
Yep.
He refuses to write in like a regular text editor like Microsoft Word or Google Docs. George R.R. Martin, like, we all love you, dude. Just finish this story. And like, I love that he's gonna leave a different story to tell for people who are willing to read books than the ones that the creators of this show. But I heard that the creators of the Game of Thrones show only got the green light to make the show because George R.R. Martin had to question them about
Their
what they thought who a certain character's mother was.
Yeah.
Because those things hadn't been revealed in the book yet, but they had been subtly hinted at.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so it's just like I don't know, man. The intricate weaving of the two different mediums, being books and storytelling and visual adaptation, for the big screen. I consider it the big screen, bro. Like, could you imagine if Game of Thrones was in fucking theaters, dude? I would go watch. I would buy a ticket. I don't buy tickets to movies, Brandon. I would buy a ticket to every episode of Game of Thrones in a big theater.
Bro,
every week, I really would.
I've never seen a fucking episode. But I can understand where you're coming from because I watch some of the dumbest shit ever. I watch sports.
Right.
Like, what do sports have to do with anything with me? Absolutely nothing. You know why? Because I don't play the goddamn game. It has nothing to do with me. So why do I? So I understand like the fandom of it. Don't get me wrong, but it's just not for me. And I'll make jokes about it because it's funny. Dragons are lies.
Man.
Who's gonna win the Game of Thrones?
No one is gonna sit on the Iron Throne.
Is it the midget?
Everyone will die in the end, and the White Walkers will win.
What about the midget?
The imp, dude, everyone's gonna die.
But what about the midget?
Dude, okay.
I want the midget to win. Is all I'm saying. What is his? What's the probability?
He's an imp.
What's the difference?
IMP.
They're both short.
No, an imp is the proper
nomenclature.
Nomenclature for that period of time.
Big word, motherfuckers. Hey! Non-jerk off, high five, hands. Yeah.
So, no, but for real, do you want me to?
So what is an imp? Explain what an imp is. Now they won't let me call him a midget.
Okay, an imp is what they referred to as deformed individuals at birth before we had the science to determine
what happened.
To determine what genetically went wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So an imp was the proper term as we use midget or small person today. Back then,
I don't think midget's okay today, but it's not a derogatory
it's not,
term.
Yes,
so
little people or whatever, and like, you know, unless you're literally being an asshole making fun of somebody for being like, you know, obese or small or whatever it is.
No, I just don't know his name, and that's a great point out. What's the short dude?
Yeah,
is he gonna win it?
Yeah,
what's his chance?
Tyrion Lannister killed his own father, bro, with a crossbow on the toilet. His father was on the toilet.
Oh, I thought you were saying he was sitting on the toilet.
I'm spoiling a lot of shit. I'm sorry.
I don't care. I'm not gonna watch this. But if they haven't seen it by now, they should have seen they should have seen it by now.
Exactly.
Yeah, as long as you don't like give any spoilers from episode 8,
season 8. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
But no, like, and honestly, I've never been more attracted to an on-screen character than I am the females in this show.
I heard they were banging.
They're bad. In the first episode of season 1, just like I talked about, they established the incestual relationship. They also show the hottest chick naked. As soon as you see her as a man, you're like, man, I wish I could see her naked. Literally, like
fully naked?
Full 5 seconds later, she's full frontal nude. Not 5 seconds. Within 3 minutes later, she's totally naked. As soon as she establishes her character.
Like, is this a Cinemax show now?
There are some really good. There's way more boobs than there are dongs, but you got to tolerate them both because this show is permeating a lot of levels.
You saying you don't like looking at a good dick?
Hey man, if it's a good dick, it's a good dick. But one guy loses his member.
Hey, shit happens, bro.
It does.
So that shit back on and film a porno. I know somebody who did that.
No, he comes to the rescue.
After he gets his wiener chopped off?
No, he doesn't. He just falls down into like a spiraling hole of blackness.
I was about to say, like, who are you saving after you get your dick off?
But he may be coming back to retribution in this episode. Because
that's what I would come back for revenge.
Hey, bro, like Game of Thrones is hot right now. I guarantee if we did a whole like off the script podcast about Game of Thrones and just tagged it a bunch of shit, we might get a bunch of views. we should call it something along the lines of like somebody who knows Game of Thrones talking with somebody who doesn't. Like
deal.
And I could just I could walk you through the whole series.
Hey, episode fucking 19 has nothing to do with Easter, even though it's gonna happen.
It's just
going to be Game of Thrones. If you don't like Game of Thrones, you can listen to it. So you'll hear me talk shit about it, and you'll hear this guy
try to
build it
explain
up.
8 episodes of show
8
that I've 8 seasons, yeah. Which means I got to binge. I got to finish about 3 seasons because I watched about 3 of the 7. I watched about 3 of the 7 before season 8 premiered. Now I got to watch the other 3.
I can't talk shit though, dude. I can't talk shit. I watch baseball every single night.
That's what's up on ESPN or a whole game.
No, I have like MLB ticket.
That's what's up. Hell yeah.
But the issue is like, what is it doing for me? It's doing absolutely nothing.
Probably
you know what I'm saying?
much, yeah.
I'm not even watching the teams I like. I'm just watching baseball.
Watching it to watch it, yeah. Dude, but baseball, like, to me, baseball moves at a pace that is faster than golf, but slower than football and hockey. And it's like, and basketball, and it's like it's a game that you don't mind being at. Like, you can go and attend it or watch it and be like paying attention to something else. And you could be like, oh, the lineup reset, you know, number 2 and number 3 in the batting order's up, like, or somebody could crack something real quick. Like the excitement is like at a level that could peak at any moment. Unlike most other sports, because most other sports demand your attention in an interval of time that it requires more of your attention more frequently.
This is what I like to say. I like to say baseball is the greatest game. Because I think it's a game.
I think it is, too. I'm explaining it so much. Let's go to the batting cage. Let's do a Joker and Smoker episode of the batting cage.
Deal. I mean, we could just do like an Instagram Live or something from there. And then the greatest game ever, I think, made or played is baseball. I think the most beautiful art that could ever be made is actually boxing. Because if you can see a boxer like not get hit and fucking hit, like, it's fucking beautiful. And
it's
then I think
the true zen of the universe.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the greatest sport of all time would be MMA. Because I think that's a true sport.
I think that's a hearkening back to the barbaric calling of man and survival. And like,
so
it's not for everyone, but it is of the utmost athleticism.
Exactly, and it's one-on-one.
That's what most sports are a measure of athleticism, and all athleticism is the equivalent of like hand-eye coordination mixed with like
skill, technique.
You know, how good can you execute being a human? Trying to do a certain thing.
But I would call that a sport. Like, I wouldn't call baseball a true sport. I mean, I think it's more of a game. Like, you're trying. It's like chess. It's a game.
Yeah.
There's
you have to
make the moves.
Adapt appropriately based on the moves made by the other person.
Exactly.
That's why I think it's so cool that there are 3 outs. You can get 4 balls but 3 strikes.
Right.
You know, like there are chances set up appropriately for these things to unfold. And nothing's better than when the tension gets built up so high on a 3-2 pitch.
Right.
You step up.
If you play, yeah.
Dude, Grand Slam winning games of baseball games, that's my kind of excitement.
Of course, if I pitch that game, I'm probably going to beat your ass. You get a Grand Slam off me to end it, like, I'm probably going to, like...
Charge the mound?
No, charge the mound's not going to happen because I was the one pitching. Like, I'm not going to let you touch second base. I'm just going to come tackle you, beat the fuck out of you. Yeah, exactly. I have so many issues with anger when it comes. I don't like losing. I'm the worst loser.
I used to play catcher and center field, but I used to try my hand at pitcher as well.
Yeah.
And the thing about, dude, every time I'm at work, okay, like we have stacks of pallets and stuff that we have to, like, you know, I might have a whole pallet of bagged mulch that I need to set 2 Traeger fucking iron grills on. So I gotta stack the pallet on top of the bagged goods and then wrap it with like plastic.
Yeah.
So I get off my lids and I wrap it. I spin around like just like this. If this is it, this is the pallet right here. Right. So I wrap it all. And then sometimes I'll run out of my wrap, right?
Right.
Wherever I'm at in the warehouse, I'll look for the nearest trash can.
And just fucking bomb it.
Donovan McNabb, bro.
Bomb it.
Yeah, dude. I make like, oh gosh.
Oh God. It was a glass pitcher, stainless steel.
You think it'll still? It probably won't pick me up.
No, it won't. Ba-doop.
I make it sometimes.
All right, y'all.
That was the exciting moment of the week, guys.
This shit's gone crazy. Hey, I didn't tell you why I got sick. I got sick because I decided to go drive a mini bike around at like I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning.
A mini bike being what?
A mini bike being like 2 bikes welded, like 2 BMX bikes welded together with a motor put on it, with a tire on the back.
So you went and did that when?
I did that like Tuesday night. I was highly intoxicated, and I happened to be in the middle of Hilliard.
Wow, like in the heart of it all?
No, I was on, an apartment complex, and I was just riding through the streets. Every time I see headlights, I hopped the fucking ditch and drove through the ditch.
Dude,
getting the fuck away.
My worst motorcycle wreck was riding in a ditch because I didn't realize there was an underground tube for drinking.
Yeah.
Flip that bitch.
Cauldron.
Let me see. Also, I have MeUndies socks on this week. MeUndies, I'm going to keep tagging you every week in this shit. Look at these.
Sponsor us.
These are dragons, bro.
Those are beautiful because that's like Game of Thrones. Look at that.
See this scar right here?
Yeah, I do.
Right there. I had to get like 17 stitches. I missed my SCOL. I think it was my junior year of my SCOL districts.
Yeah.
Districts, then regionals, then states.
Yep.
I missed my high jump and my pole vault because I wrecked my bike right into the ditch, and I literally flipped over it multiple times.
Yeah.
And then got up, rode back to the house, got home, took off my clothes, realized I didn't have my little iPod mini that I rode with.
Yeah.
Rode back, found the iPod mini, then came home and strategically hung myself out of the front door to tell my parents, like, hey, is Dad out there? Because I didn't want to tell my mom I had just sliced my whole leg open. Right. And then I told my dad, and he's like, oh my God, we have to go to the hospital. And I was like, no, I don't want to. Why?
Oh my God. That was a great story. Take a hit off that. I'm going to take a hit off that. And this has been a beautiful episode, I think.
I think so. I quit keeping track of time, but it's well over an hour.
Yeah, so I think we're good. Also,
it's a good 420 episode, man. We talked about a lot of things.
I do not want to stop this episode. I don't want to be the first one to go pee on the episode, like in the middle of the episode. So we need to end this as quick as possible.
That sounds good.
Piss my pants.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a safe and responsible 420. In Ohio, the rules are medically only. I don't know how many of you have doctor's appointments or has regular family doctors, but just question them. Try to expand your horizons about asking about these medicinal options, because that's really what they are.
You can go to ohiomedicalcard.com and actually sign up to see if you can actually apply.
I'm going to do that because I didn't know that.
Yeah. Just shout out. I'm not trying to get people high or nothing, but I am. And if you get a card, hit me up. I'll probably buy weed off you.
And that's the whole of it, I'm just tired of going and buying weed. I'm feeling like a criminal.
Right.
When I can take a plane, I can take a flight on a plane and pay a couple $100 for that and go to a different state and go buy it there. And I'll still break the law, put it in a package and mail it to myself. But, man, I just want to quit feeling like a criminal.
No shit.
So thank you guys for watching. This has been the Joker and the Smoker, the 420 special. Thanks for watching. We love you. Follow us on all our social media posts below. Holla!
Like and subscribe. Later, y'all.
Hey.